They say he was just a mechanic, the man in the oil-stained boots who never spoke much, no degree, no flashy business, no inheritance, just grease on his hands and silence in his soul. When Walter Green retired at 58, his bank account quietly whispered the number, $997,862. No one understood. Not his former co-workers, not his neighbors, not even his daughter Sophie. He had never earned more than $40,000 a year. Drove a 20-year-old truck, lived in a creaky trailer park on the edge of Tempe, yet there it was, nearly $1 million. Legally earned, patiently grown. How? They asked. How could a broke widower with no luck end up rich? There was no magic, no scheme, just discipline, loss, and something more painful than people want to admit, time. Walter Green was 32 when cancer took his wife, Marlene. The disease came quickly, ruthlessly. There was no insurance, their emergency savings barely covered the painkillers. By the time she passed, Walter was left with a 6-year-old daughter, a funeral loan, and exactly $42 in his checking account. The day he buried her, he promised 2 things. He would never take shortcuts. He would build something real, something his daughter could lean on. Even if the world burned again, that promise became his identity. He worked 2 jobs, days in the garage, nights fixing old washing machines and fridges for neighbors. Sophie slept on the couch next to a flickering lamp while Walter studied torn pages from finance books he found at yard sales. Behind the bathroom mirror, taped to a rusting pipe, was an envelope labeled, "Someday." Every time Walter got a tip, even if it was just $2, he folded one and slipped it into the envelope. It wasn't for food, not for bills, it was for the future, for Sophie's future, for dignity. He didn't know how far it would go, but he swore never to open it. Over years, that envelope changed forms into a savings account, then a Roth IRA, then a brokerage account. Walter didn't understand stocks at first, but he learned, slowly, carefully. He avoided trends and stuck to the basics. S&P 500, dividend-paying blue chips, reinvest every penny. One winter, their heating broke. Walter didn't fix it. The quote was $900, and he needed every penny in the market. Sophie studied with gloves on. They boiled water for makeshift hot bottles and slept under 3 blankets. When she asked, "Are we poor?" Walter smiled and said, "No, honey, we're just not rich yet." And he believed it. That winter changed them. Hardship became routine, not punishment. Sophie became sharp, observant, and emotionally older than her age. She saw her father deny himself coffee so she could have a warm meal. She never forgot it. Walter's education came from the pages of discarded books and free articles printed at the public library. He didn't chase flashy advice. He respected slowness. He learned about compound interest, tax shelters, the magic of reinvested dividends, and the art of being boring. By 40, he had $18,000 invested. Most of it came from years of tiny deposits. $20 here, $50 there. Nothing fancy. But it was growing. At night, he'd mutter to himself while filling out tax forms. Slow, steady, silent. That's the way. When he was 44, a friend from the garage offered him a partnership in a used car business. All Walter had to do was sign off on a bank loan and put up his trailer as collateral. The guy was excited. Flashy spreadsheets, fake smiles, guaranteed return. Walter said no. The friend called him scared, weak, a man stuck in the past. The business failed within a year. Walter lost a friend, but he kept his roof. Sophie, now 17, told him, "Dad, you're the bravest man I know." At 47, Walter slipped while repairing a customer's SUV, herniated disc. The doctor said he might never bend the same again. For 2 months, he was bedridden. He almost sold his stocks. Instead, he told Sophie, now studying online, "You're not going to fix cars. You're going to fix your future." That night, Sophie applied to a remote coding boot camp. Walter paid the $400 enrollment fee from his emergency fund. He called it his biggest investment. By the time Walter turned 50, his portfolio hit $276,000. He still lived in the same trailer, still wore duct-taped boots, still drove the same truck, but everything had changed. No debt, no fear, no desperation. He took Sophie out to a local diner and whispered, "We're halfway there." Sophie laughed. She was now working remotely for a US tech firm, earning more than her dad ever had. But they didn't upgrade their life, they upgraded their future at 52. Walter bought a duplex in Tempe, cash down payment. He lived in one half and rented the other. Passive income, no mortgage. People began whispering, "How's that trailer guy buying property?" But Walter didn't answer. He just smiled. Let the numbers talk. He reinvested everything. Stocks, rental cash flow, Sophie's bonuses, all of it went into more shares, more stability, more silence. At 55. Walter visited Marlene's grave. He brought no flowers, only stories. He told her how Sophie was building apps now, how their portfolio crossed $800,000, how they never took a loan, never begged, never scammed. We made it, Marlene, quietly, slowly, and no one saw us coming. He left with peace in his chest, and a storm of memories in his eyes. At 58. Walter was a millionaire. He didn't post it online, he didn't buy a new car, he didn't even tell his neighbors. He still wore the same boots, still drove the same truck, still read finance books before bed. But now, when it rained, he didn't worry about the roof. When Sophie laughed, he didn't worry about the bills. And when strangers judged him, he didn't hear them because he had something richer than money. Peace. You want to get rich? Forget the hype, forget the speed, forget the claps. Do what Walter Green did. Say no to shortcuts. Say yes to boring. Investments. Stay humble. Let time be your engine. Let discipline be your wealth, because that's the truth. No one tells you getting rich slowly is the only way to stay rich forever.